Hello everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel. We are PGN Accounting Group. We're going to be talking about today is how to hire your kids in your business for massive tax savings. Very exciting, awesome topic. One, you get to save on taxes. Number two, you hire your kids, you get to pay them, they get to save. We're going to be talking about all the benefits, how to do it. I'm sure a lot of you have heard about this, but if you haven't, and this is where you're hearing about it first, awesome. That's the whole point of this YouTube channel, is to educate everyone. And also, there's a lot of YouTube videos that don't really get into how to do it and what it really is. They just talk about it high level, but we're here to talk about it in more detail. However, before we get into the video, I want to thank all of our subscribers for supporting this channel. Please follow this QR code to get to our Instagram page and click the follow button. And if you're having any questions on what do we actually provide for our clients, please go to pgnaccounting.com, where you can also contact us to set up a free consultation. Even if it's 10-20 minutes, it's free. We'll answer some of your questions. And if you want to go with us as your tax professional, then awesome. Otherwise, you got some questions answered and we're happy to serve you. We'll show you how to hire your kids in your business and how to save taxes at the same time. You will be able to get them on payroll, take a deduction to reduce your taxes, and potentially invest that money to grow tax-free in a Roth IRA for the rest of your children's lives. There's nothing better than growing your money tax-free. Taxes, as I've said in my previous videos, are everyone's number one expense in life. So we should always try to find ways to reduce our taxes and figure out how to not pay taxes on our hard-earned money legally. Obviously, contact your own CPA, your own tax advisor before implementing any of these strategies. And that's our goal of these videos, is to educate people on not only how to save taxes, but to do things the right way. Before we learn on how to save taxes by hiring your kids in the business, you need to understand the below. What is a standard deduction? How does this strategy work? And W-2s to kids and a Roth IRA, which we're going to be talking about. What is a standard deduction? Everyone files a tax return and either takes the standard deduction or itemized deductions. We won't discuss itemized deductions in this video. However, if you want us to dive deep into itemized deductions and explain them in a different video, please comment that below. Also, we have another video out there that explains top 5 write-offs for W-2 employees that really dives a little bit deeper into the standard deduction and itemized deductions and a whole other amount of write-offs that a W-2 employee could take. So please go to our YouTube channel and find that video, and please take a look at it because it's very informational and beneficial for you to watch. Standard deduction is given to all taxpayers no matter what. For 2022, the deduction for single is $12,950. For married filing joint, it's $25,900. This means that if you make $12,950 or less being single, or $25,900 or less married filing joint, then you will not pay federal income tax. If your kid is 18 years or younger, then they can get paid up to $12,950 and not pay federal income taxes. That is amazing. Also, mom and dad do not need to issue their kids under 18 a W-2 at 1099, nor do they have to pay payroll taxes or federal income taxes on the money they pay their kids in the business. So they're able to take the deduction, their kids don't have to pay the tax, and everything is by the book according to the IRS. This is amazing. So how does this strategy work? Mom and dad are not obligated or required to pay payroll taxes or workers' comp because the IRS and the state governments are assuming that the kids will not ever sue their parents if a workers' comp situation or issue comes up. However, this must be done in an LLC owned by the parents to fully utilize this strategy. This may be done in a C-corp or an S-corp, but you are not achieving the max tax savings. Although you may have switched from an LLC to an s-corp, as my other videos highly recommend, you will be able to save on self-employment taxes and payroll taxes, but you may realize that you'd have to pay your kids via W-2 and pay payroll taxes. There is a way around this by forming a single member LLC owned by mom and dad. The s-corp pays the single member LLC management LLC a legitimate management fee, which then pays their kids through the single member LLC. This strategy is complex, very complicated. I do not recommend that you guys do this on your own. Go on LegalZoom or anything like that. Do it yourself. I do not recommend that because there's way too many things that need to go right and things that need to be done and work correctly and be done and set up initially correctly for this to all work out. Please contact your own CPA, your own tax professional. Mention them. Can I save taxes by paying my kids and employing my kids in my business? If you do not have a tax professional or CPA, or they're not willing to do this or not capable of doing this to you or for you, please go to pgnaccounting.com to set up your free consultation today. You must be paying your kids a reasonable wage for services completed. You must have proper documentation of their title, tasks, hours, etc. as support. So if the IRS ever comes, you can't just say, well, they did some paper shredding or they did something here and there, and then you paid them $12,000 and they're 8 years old. That's probably not going to fly by the IRS. However, if they're 12, 13, they're managing your Instagram, they're managing other social media for the business, you could pay them $8,000, $10,000, and that's a very reasonable rate, very reasonable wage for the services that are completed. But you must have documentation for that, for us to be able to take that deduction. Now on to our final topic, W-2s to kids and Roth IRA. Although you won't need to issue your kids under age 18, that's very important that they're under 18. There's a different strategy if they're over 18, but that is not in the scope of this video. So you do not need to issue your kids under 18 a W-2 or file a federal tax return for them. You may want to, however, file a tax return for them because it helps support the contributions made to their Roth IRA. It is not necessary, and I highly recommend that even if you don't file a tax return for your kids, but you are employing them in your business and you're not filing a W-2 for them or a tax return, you can still contribute to a Roth IRA, have that money grow tax-free for them for the rest of their lives. But the IRS computer wants to be happy, and they're going to want to compare a tax return to the Roth IRA contributions. So I do recommend that you do it. You're not going to pay tax on it, but let's make the IRS computer happy and not get audited or not even get those pesky letters in the mail that you're going to have to deal with anyway. In order for your kids to contribute to a Roth IRA, they need earned income, which are wages paid 2022. They can contribute up to $6,000 per year. However, like I said, the IRS computer system likes to compare information by taking the W-2s and matching it with the Roth IRA contributions. If there's no W-2, the IRS computer might get unhappy, send notices. Don't worry about it. Your CPA or your tax professional should easily and quickly respond to those and just clear up the issues. Don't worry about it. You should be able to take this. But again, consult your tax advisor. Although this strategy is legal and done by thousands of taxpayers, we want the IRS computer system to be happy. So we recommend issuing payroll and a W-2 to your kids. But you do not have to withhold federal, state, Social Security, or Medicare taxes. You do not have to file a tax return for them. However, we recommend that just to make everyone happy and not have to get certain notices in the mail. Like I said, this strategy is complex. And it may be scary because the IRS and the state governments, they're very painful and annoying to deal with. I have dealt with them my entire career for nearly 10 years. We do not like that if we have to deal with them, especially when they're not happy and the documentation is not there to support things. But do not be afraid to use this. A lot of people have also been afraid to use home office deductions, for example, and they're missing out on hundreds, if not thousands of dollars of deductions that they could be taking, but they're just too afraid to because they've heard this person and this person have one friend that dealt with the IRS because they denied a home office deduction. If this strategy is done right, of paying your kids, you have the proper documentation, and you have a good CPA and you have a good tax professional in your corner, do not be afraid to take this. You're leaving thousands of dollars of taxes on the table if you have a small business. Please implement this strategy as soon as you can, if you can. And if you don't have a tax professional or CPA, please visit us at pgnaccounting.com to set up that consultation. Even if it's 10-15 minutes, it could be 30. We don't care. It's a free initial consultation. We will be able to answer some of your questions. And if you want to go further with us, then you can. There's no obligation. But we have helped hundreds of clients not only implement this strategy, but other strategies as well. And we just want to help you as well through our YouTube videos, giving free educational content. But again, these strategies are very complex, so do not try to do them by yourself. Please contact us. Please contact a CPA or tax advisor. And if you thought this information was very helpful, then please hit the subscribe button. Follow us on Instagram. Hit the follow button on Instagram. And after you hit the subscribe and the follow button on YouTube and Instagram, you'll be notified on our future videos, our future posts that will also have very informational content and will hopefully benefit you and your friends.